it's me, the Lucky Fate Viewer, and well, this has been a long time coming. 3 months ago, when I posted my initial review of Three Houses, I said I would make a separate video talking about the routes. And originally, I was going to do basically a single video covering all the routes and my ranking for them, but I figured I should probably just do this. Essentially, one video per route, and I'm probably going to go through them the way I make them the way I play through the routes, or either that or I go from my least liked route to my most liked route, and probably just go over essentially why I like the route, what I didn't like the route, sort of thing. But of course, if we're going to talk routes, we gotta talk about the DLC route, the side story, the Ashen Wolves. And I kind of like how they did this. They essentially made it to where you had to play their DLC in order to get the characters in your actual other playthroughs, like through the actual game. So it kind of incentivized you to actually go through it rather than just, hey, there's this side story. You want to know about more about these characters and what happened? Here's a side story. It kind of forces you, but I never really disliked any of the maps. Not not to mention they basically promote your units beforehand, so you don't really have to worry about that kind of stuff. Yeah, again, it's been a while since I played Ash Wolves. I think that was like my second playthrough after Azura Moon. Maybe it was my first time. I think my second. I think I played it right before I did my second playthrough. And overall, it's a nice side story. I One of my major complaints is that it focuses on Violet's mom, aka Gerald's wife, and Gerald's basically absent from this entire story, even though you think he might want to know that his like probably a guy he knew is trying to revive Citri, which we actually find out what her name is, Violet's mom's name is. So congratulations, Three Houses, you've done more than they did with Awakening. Rest in rip freaking Robin's mom being the literal only Avatar character parent that we don't really know about. I mean, I guess there's Chris, but from what I remember reading, Chris at least has his grandparents. I don't know if to talk about parents or what, but at least grandparents are a thing. At least we know that. But, I mean, Robin's mom is still a mystery to this day, and I don't know if we'll ever get any explanation for it whatsoever. Who knows? Maybe if we ever get a remake. Kinda why I want a remake. But back to Three Houses. Sorry for the freaking sidetrack. Again, it's like Gerald's not here. He doesn't freaking. We don't never get to see his reaction to finding out what Ulfric is trying to do, or what Rhea did, and essentially not doing the most respectable thing and burying Citri's body. And it's just this seems like if there was ever a time you wanted to expand on Gerald's character and basically a literally show us him actually being angry, like this would have been it, but we don't get it, and it's kind of meh. I mean, the explanation people usually go with is that this is only after Gerald's death, but a lot of people don't want to talk. I think that's been either disproven or people just swat that away because it's like there's no way all this takes place right before we go face Monica in the Silent Hills. No way. And it's just again missed opportunity. I mean, we get Rhea, I guess. I don't know. Overall, I really didn't really have any issues with any of the maps chapter. I guess the only real issue I guess I had is um with with like the final boss, but that's not because it's hard, but more so just I'm an idiot and I had no idea what battalions did throughout. So like until I played my second playthrough, where I finally figured out like, oh, that's the benefit for adding them. That's the benefit for having them, and it's like I played through a Zero Moon without even knowing that. So it's like, wow, I shot myself in the foot there. Anyways, it just there's not really a lot to talk about. I mean, there's also the characters. You got Yuri, Consonance, Balthus, and Happy, and I'll just say this. If you haven't played it yet, everything people have said about Yuri is true. He is basically everything Claude. Everything Claude basically talks about how he is, Yuri actually shows it. So, you know, there's that. Again, you really do, it's not the entire real focus is it's not focused on less on them, more focused on the whole Citry thing, Alfrec Citry thing, and they're basically just the keys to all that. And again, if you want to actually learn about them, well, the DLC, get it, and you basically play through it once, and you get the characters. And I think that's kind of my issue. There's no real incentive to play the DLC again after you play it the first time around. There's not really much to do. Since once you beat it, you basically get everything. I guess, bragging rights if you want to beat it on the hardest difficulties, but beyond that, there's no real, incentive to do so. So, I guess in that respect, it's kind of the weakest, but compared to a certain other route we're going to eventually talk about, I rather play this again than play that route again. Well, again, we'll probably get to it. Like whenever I decide, it's either gonna be the next video, or it's gonna be the last video I talk about. But not video route. The first next video route I talk about, or it's gonna be the last one. It just depends on which one I'm gonna do. And yeah, again, it's like a really short side story. Basically, gives us like 4 new characters, like more lore stuff. It's nice. But it's basically a you play this once, you get the stuff, and then you never play it again. And not a bad thing. It's just I I really wish for the route, and I'm probably going into detail about this in the Pacific route I'm talking about. But I really wish they had more of an effect on the story outside of their own side story. I wish they weren't just we're characters and we exist here. Like they did have dialogues and stuff, but like beyond that, like few dialogues, they kind of have no not don't get me wrong, they have good supports. They have good decent supports and a lot like basically really do help like explore more stuff. But beyond that, they well, aside from the special dialogue and the supports, they kind of bring nothing else. Like there's no real again, I'll go into details on what exactly I'm talking about in whenever we get to that certain route that I'm thinking about. But I really wish they had more of an impact in that one route where, again, you'll figure out once I'm talking about it, or maybe you already figured out. Who knows? But yeah, Silver Snow. I not Silver. Well, crap! I just spoiled it, didn't I? Well, yeah, spoiler alert, Silver Snow is one I'm talking about. Again, I'll talk about that when I get to the actual video talking about Silver Snow and why, if you want to play Silver Snow, you don't. The best way to play Silver Snow is not to play Silver Snow. The best way to play Silver Snow is by playing Verdant Wind. Trust me, I will get to that when I get to that. But again, Ashen Wolves. Again, and not to mention, they basically had some side stuff and again, basically, this really did feel like here's a side story along with some stuff that we basically add to the main game, and that's kind of it. Not a bad thing. It's just you usually don't see it. It's usually a side story that's really some sort of secluded to itself. We actually get the characters in the game. as well as the the classes, the special classes that got added. Just aka Trickster, Warlock, slash War Cleric, depending on gender, Dark Pegasus, and Valkyries. And not to mention there's two more relics, but I wish they all got relics. Again, I really wish it wasn't just a here's two characters, they get relics and not, all four of them. Because I feel like that would have been a nice opportunity. Like, I don't know, maybe Constance gets some sort of gem and I don't know. It just feels like a missed opportunity that they basically skipped out on. Like, only two of the four DLC characters get relics, even though they all four have different relics. And don't even get me started on the Chalice beginning. My God, is like if nothing else, if you don't like the characters, you don't like the DLC. If nothing else, play play the DLC for the Chalice of the Beginnings, because my God, if you think the Black Knight is the Death Knight is OP, you haven't seen anything yet. Try freaking putting literally putting Byleth for the freaking like basically cribbing Byleth with the Chalice of Beginnings. Yeah, like that's basically how you solo entire maps. It's just Chalice of Beginnings and Byleth. I mean, maybe that's just me and my little like S plus white magic. I don't know. But enough rambling. Like I said, Ashen Wolves, good side story. Really wish there was more to the characters had more of an impact after on the main story. I'll get to that whenever I get to that. And really, it's basically a route a side story you basically play once, get everything you need, and then probably never touch again. But it's still a good one. It's not frustrating to play, but it's really no real reason to play again. But again, if I had to choose a route between it and a other route, I'd play it. I'd play it. I'd play it first. I would choose that route over the other one. And yeah, again, next video is either going to be either Azura Moon, basically the first route I played, or my least liked one, which I don't know if you guys know it, but you'll know it when you know it. Again, it's either first route I played, which is Azura Moon, or it's going to be the route where I just do not like the most, and I'll go from there. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and see you guys next time. Bye.